I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for the Township of Lopatcong for May 7th, 2025. Please bow your head for a minute of prayer. And please keep in mind and remembrance Betty Bird from Delaware Park Firehouse and Pat Rivoli from the Lopat number 2. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger in the express time and posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Beth, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Del Caro,
Here.
Councilman Marinelli, Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Council President Polito.
Here.
Mayor Wright.
Here. Wade, would you summarize the executive session, please?
Yeah, the Township Council met in executive session where it discussed the following privilege matters. 1, contractual DPW negotiations update. 2, personnel zoning officer. 3, attorney-client privilege, alleyway ownership. 4, contractual LAA contract. No official, minutes from the executive session will be released at such time as the council deems no public harm will come from it and no official action was taken.
Okay, thank you. Okay, public comment, agenda items only. Mr. Bruce?
Bob Bruce, 11 Harwich Road. I'm presuming under the municipal budget, 2025 public hearing and adoption, item 3 old business. Public hearing means I can ask something then, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask about consent agenda 1, the DOT Route 57 bridge, that's the whole thing that they rebuilt already over there? Okay.
No, it is not.
It is not, okay.
No, it's a proposed bridge to be built, and it's up past that, the four-way intersection of 519 and 57, where Greenwich and Lopatcong's boundary is, and it's not going to start till, I think, 2027, but they're putting everything in place.
Thank you. And then, the recycling tonnage grant, resolution 3, can you just, it's like you're approving chapter, can you explain that? Just what that is, recycling tonnage grant? I guess that's good, right? We're getting that?
Yes, we get it every year.
Okay,
And because it came in later, it wasn't included in the budget,
I
so
get it.
we do chapter 159.
Thank you. And 6 and 7 both refer to established dedication by rider. I guess I understand the tree removal replacement ESCO fund, because that's the new tree ordinance that we have. But I don't understand, the lead hazard control assistance fund, that's new to my, what is that?
The state a couple of years ago,
Okay,
they established, you have to have inspectors go out to inspect lead paint apartments or buildings,
okay,
and there's a fee associated with it.
okay,
So they really pretty much encourage you, or pretty much mandate you to set up a trust for those funds.
okay.
So you can use whatever expenses you incur, you can use that to satisfy.
Okay, all right. And but I just wanted to mention that I believe that the schools, New Jersey schools were rated 4th best in the nation. I just wanted to make mention of that.
Anyone else? No one? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Number 1, minutes, approve executive and regular session for April 2nd, 2025.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Del Caro,
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid.
Yes.
Council President Polito.
Yes.
Mayor Wright.
Yes. Number 2, resolution cancel unexpended capital ordinance 24-18 balance in the amount of $62,933.65. I have a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Rick?
Yes. Okay, the municipal budget for 2025, open the public hearing and adoption. Andrew and Kim, you want to talk before we do any of that?
Sure.
Okay, for the 2025 budget, the total appropriations are $11,569,595.10, with anticipated revenues of $5,206,727.95, which leaves an amount to be raised of $6,362,867.15, which that equates to local share only about $28 annually for a house assessed at $231,000. And our rate went up 1.2%. We used a little more surplus this year to help balance the budget.
Just a quick comment. I mean, she pretty much nailed all my points anyway right now, but we are in compliance with both the appropriation cap and the tax levy cap. As Kim said, we did go up 1.2 cents. That's per $100 of assessed valuation on a home, which is about 2% more than it was last year. And we also had the municipal open space stay consistent at 3 cents, so the exact same as it was in 2024.
And just one other comment is, this is the first year since I've been here that we've actually had to look and cut our budget. It was approximately 300,000 we had to cut to meet the cap. So,
And we did it, right?
we did it.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Ken? Okay, so we will, let's see, have a motion and a second to hold a public hearing. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Public, comments from public? Mr. Bruce?
Bob Bruce, Harwich Road. Is there a line item in the budget for the maintenance of the pool and park?
No,
No.
because it's not built yet.
Okay. When it was open, was there a line item for the maintenance for the pool and
There
park?
was for costs, most of that got charged under Parks and Rec.
Okay.
It
Nice
was a
show, I like that
small-
show.
It was a small budget, though.
Okay. I just asked because I believe we understand that we will expect that our taxes may go up as a result of building the pool park, not for the cost of the pool park, but for the maintenance of the pool park. So if I can get an item just so I can baseline what it was when it was open, and are you projecting once it opens, there'll be a line item, or is it going to be captured under Parks and Rec? Like before?
Well, it's going to have its own separate line item, Parks and Rec.
Okay, but the pool and park won't, it'll be covered under,
Yes, one.
right, okay, so,
It won't be split out,
okay.
as far as I know right now. I don't think we would do that. But you got to, they've been working very hard and putting a lot of time into with the buildings and everything, so that we will be getting, hopefully, generate a lot of revenues.
Right,
from all
but
of that.
I understand we're hoping to generate revenue.
Yes,
Right, okay,
yes.
and that would be, so the expectation is that you'd get revenues in and you would offset the maintenance with that before going to a tax increase?
You don't apply the revenues directly to that line item, it's in the overall budget.
Okay, and
So there'll
so,
be a line item revenue, anticipated revenues for the park.
anticipated revenue line item
And
for
then
the
there'll be
park,
appropriation line for the park.
under Parks and Rec, not as.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
okay.
yes.
All right, that second thing, the appropriation line for
Yes,
Parks and Rec,
yes.
can I get,
That'll
that? Can I
include
get it? Can I get a number for what that was the last time the pool was open? I understand you don't have to have it now.
No, I don't have it
Yeah,
now,
I didn't expect
because it's
you
been
would.
closed for,
I don't know.
2020.
yeah, so, but I can get you that number.
Okay, should I call the office? Or
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you, okay. Thank you, thank you.
All right, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and second to adopt the 2025 budget.
Motion.
I'll second that. Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 2025-5, second reading and public hearing of bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $2,276,103 for the acquisition of a ladder truck in and by the Township of Lopatcong in the County of Warren, New Jersey, and authorizing issuance of $2,162,293 in bonds or notes of the Township of Lopatcong for financing part of the appropriation. Need a motion and a second to hold a public hearing, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public about the fire truck? Seeing none, motion and a second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion.
Second.
And a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Number 5, ordinance number 25-06, second reading and public hearing to adopt a revision and codification of ordinance in the Township of Lopatcong. Motion and second to hold a public hearing.
Motion.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Comments for the public? Mr. Bruce?
Last time you had said that, I believe it was grammar, was cleanup for grammar, not anything of substance. Is that still the case?
Well, just, so it's grammar, it's also to come into compliance with state regulations that have changed over time.
Okay.
But that is state regulated. It's not really, those aren't decisions of the township to make.
Right, so nothing of substance is a cleanup job?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Motion and second to come out of, or close the public hearing?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion and second to adopt this ordinance?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 2025-07, second reading and public hearing to amend Chapter 243 entitled Zoning and Land Use to amend definition of alley. I need a motion and a second to hold public hearing.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public, comments from the public? Yes. Oh, sorry.
John Kitcherson, 38 Jade Lane. I just have a quick question. What is the amended language for the definition of an alley?
Do you have that?
Sure, certainly I can take that. Yes, Mr. Kitcherson, so the revision is intended to address some issues that have come up when residents come for zoning permits. And this is specifically related to neighborhoods such as Delaware Park, where there's a lot of alleys, and a lot of those homeowners have driveways, garages, backyards, fenced areas that abut that alleyway.
Okay.
So the concern that's arisen is, you know, if they wanted to replace one of those garages or reconstruct a shed or a fence, the way the ordinance currently reads, that's a public right-of-way, so that would be considered a front yard for them. So to do any of that work, even replacing existing fences that have been there for many years, they'd have to come before the planning board, file a zoning, a zoning variance application, and go through a long process of doing that. So this sort of alleviates that requirement, so it makes the burden less on residents. So if you want to replace your fence and you have an alleyway, that's now treated as a rear yard. So you have to meet the setback for a rear yard rather than a 25, or whatever it is, 50 foot in the zone setbacks. You're not losing your entire rear yard where you're putting a fence in. So that's really what it is. It's just a change to that definition. So when a zoning permit's filed, or if the alley exists on one side yard, that would also be considered. So there's no need to sort of come before the zoning or planning boards to get a variance. So it's sort of to make it easier for residents
Yeah.
to do that type of work.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name is Michael Avalone. I had applied for a permit to redo my fence. The fence was there since, I don't know how long. I bought the house in 2018. I was told by one of the girls in the office that there might be a problem with St. George, which is considered an alleyway, but it's nowhere near the fence that I want to put up. It's easily 70 feet away, easily. And the fence that I'm putting up is actually inside my property. I just want to know what I have to do to get that permit.
So you would have to fill out a zoning,
I did.
application, and we would send it off to our zoning officer.
I did, and it came back from the zoning officer to this hearing
That it was not permitted, and you would have to appear before the zoning board?
yeah, that's what Pat said. So I'm here now and I'm trying to figure out what I got to do.
Oh, well, just come see us, we have the instructions and everything.
Okay.
Through that process.
Fair enough. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. New business, ordinance 2025-08, first reading to establish the position of captain in the police department. I need a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. Ordinance number 2025-09, first reading to establish a salary range for the position of captain and increase certain other salary ranges within the salary ordinance. Have a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
I'll second that. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. Consent agenda, items 1 through 13. Does anybody have anything they want removed? If not, I need a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. Council reports. Rich?
Mayor, I just wanted to report to you that I was in receipt of your email regarding the request for one of us to speak to the Cub Scout Pack 54. I responded to Samantha Peterson on May 1st and haven't heard anything back, and I'm not sure if that's who's in the room or not. But I just want you to know that I did reach out to them for that speaking engagement.
Lou?
Yeah, just one update on the sewer. No new news as of today, as far as people raising their rates. It's been like this since the expiration of the 5-year agreement we had with them, which expired in 2023. So they're still mulling over the rates, but be assured that your sewer rates will go up. The second thing I'm concerned with, and will affect all of us, and it's not good for anyone, is they're entertaining the thought of privatizing. And that will not be good for anyone. But they're exploring that as well. And I'm not sure if they're going to privatize some of it, all of it. We don't know yet. That's it.
Last month, we had the Easter egg hunt, a big turnout. I'd like to thank the Recreation Committee members and the clerk's office for all their help with making that a success. The town cleanup, we had some issues with weather, so we need to reschedule that, possibly in the fall. And Music in the Park starts on the 28th of this month, and we got a $6,000 grant approved.
Nice. Great.
And that's all. No, thank you.
Thank you. Just like I said earlier, when we said the prayer, we had two people, longtime residents and members of Delaware Park Firehouse, Betty Bird. She was with the Ladies Auxiliary. Her husband Clyde I remember him when he was a kid. He was one of the fathers down there. She passed away, and she'll be dearly missed. And Pat Rivoli, this gentleman was with us for a long time, was with the fire department, I believe, 40 years. Worked 911 Communication Center. He was a volunteer firefighter at number 2. He also helped out in 9/11 in New York. He was our volunteer hazardous material worker, and he definitely will be missed. So please keep them all in your prayers. That's about all I have. Engineers report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, give everyone an update. Excuse me. We've been discussing the Fox Farm Road storm damage repairs. We are in the process of preparing plans for that. We'll be coordinating with FEMA and the NJDEP to obtain permits for that work. So that work is ongoing. Next, the pool demolition, that is ongoing. We're waiting on the demolition of the pool house in coordination with JCP&L. So I know we're ongoing with them and trying to get their crews out there to disconnect the electrical service. The pickleball courts, we held a pre-construction meeting with the contractor last week. The contractor anticipates starting the work in the next 2 to 3 weeks as he receives the materials for the construction. So and we're hoping those courts will be constructed fairly quickly. This contractor's constructed a few pickleball courts around in White and in Lopatcong, so he has some experience. So we're hoping the project goes smoothly. The park improvement plans, those plans are still under development. There's detailing work going now on the pool plan preparation and on the various buildings that are going to be constructed as part of the project. So that's ongoing. Stonehenge Drive Improvements Project, that's an NJDOT grant-funded project. We've submitted plans to the NJDOT. As soon as they give us authorization to go out to bid on that, we will be going out to bid to construct those improvements on Stonehenge Drive. Jade Lane Improvements Project, it's been an ongoing project. A few weeks ago, the paving improvements were completed. Next steps there would just be to complete the pavement striping, the crosswalks and stop bars. And once that's done, the project's completed. Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you. Police report, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So the traffic report for the month of April, we had a total of 299 traffic stops, and 37% of those drivers were issued a traffic citation. And out of those issued traffic citation, 49% were overweight vehicles. We're kind of busy in April with vehicle burglaries. They just started to pop up. And the nice weather brings out some of these people to start some of this work. So I just remind the public to secure their cars, make sure their valuables are taken out, because these are purely crimes of opportunity. They're not making forceful entry. They're entering open vehicles and taking valuables, and even some cars at times. Solicitors, I was asked about solicitors last meeting. And we started to put some information out on our social media outlets on what to look out for, and just some tips to make sure you're safe at home. And starting this week, we're going to also post on our social media outlets on the permits that we have valid in the township, so that people can readily identify who is supposed to be out in the township and who is not. So right now, we only have a handful of applicants that have valid permits. So barring that, nobody should be knocking on the doors soliciting in the neighborhoods. So if they do, we appreciate the phone call to the police department, and we will handle that with them. And just a big thank you to the Lopatcong Fire Department. We had a structure fire up on Dana Street. And it could have been a lot worse had they not responded as quickly as they did and knocked it down as quickly as they did. So we thank you for that. And that's my report, Mayor.
Great,
Thank you.
Thank you.
DPW? Bye.
I'd like to start out with something a little different. I'd like to go back to one of the things we were talking about with Pat Rivoli. I'd also like to add something to that. Pat Rivoli volunteered for emergency squad for many, many years. He actually was on it with me as my first day and worked all the way through. Never hit the paper. I don't know why, but it meant a lot to me. Pat and I were good friends because of it. We put our lives on the line out on the streets, and you know what I mean, and through AIDS and through all the diseases that are out there, you know what I mean, your paramedics and squad men, they put their lives on the line every day of the week with diseases. It's not just fire. All right, so very, very respectful in that fashion. All right, so I just want to honor him for that. The other thing is your truck that was on order, we went and seen it yesterday. Sized it for where the controls go, and I'm hoping in about 3 weeks or so it should be here. I'm hoping 3-4 weeks. All right, so that'll be coming. All right, we'll get rid of the one that's 90% shot. All right, before somebody gets hurt. The other thing I have, and I would like to address you guys, but also the public for safety, and the chief is aware of it. People with electric bikes, some high-power electric bikes, are traveling through the walk path in the park. All right, they're coming up behind people, they're pushing them out of the way, they're doing things, and I just want the public to be aware of that as it's being taken care of. All right, so just watch yourself. All right, you don't usually hear them coming up behind you. All right, but it's not a driving path. It is, we drive on it to be able to do service, but it's not meant for that side of the fence. You're going 20, 25 mile an hour and popping right up on top of you as you're walking with your heads on and different things like that. So just be careful. That's what I'm telling you. All right. Wanted to bring that out. The road department is basically what we're doing is spring cleanup, just like everybody else. All right. We just got a lot more of it going on. All right, and a bigger chunk of property. So, you know, I've been getting sports and everything, keeping them going as best we can. So that's kind of what I have.
Brian, I apologize, I forgot to include thanking the DPW for all their help with the Easter egg hunt last month. So I wanted to thank you.
Great
Appreciate
job.
it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, fire chief's report. Chief?
Good evening. I take a moment, thank you, Mayor, specifically to remember the 2 members of the department that we've lost. And it is a great loss for the department, so thank you very much for that. For March, going back to March, we had 20 calls for the month. Most of them were run-of-the-mill calls, gas leaks, motor vehicle accidents, et cetera, and there's nothing really standing out in March, but we were busy in March. So far, in May, it was a little different story. We did have that one structure fire. Thank you, Chief. We do appreciate all your officers' help. Anytime we go out for calls, it is appreciated. We also had 2 working car fires that were handled by the department. We had actually, for training, we were actually, right before we had those car fires, we were up at the fire academy practicing our skills on vehicle fires. So it was very timing was right for that. Thankfully, nobody was injured in those incidents, but that was what we had in May. I'll have more detailed report next month regarding those calls in April. But that was, I'm sorry, I said in May, but I meant to say in April. That's all we had in April. We also like to thank Councilman Polito for all of his assistance working with you for the Easter egg hunt.
And thank you for your,
It was great for that. And the mayor, thank you very much for setting up that event. Also, last, I'd like to thank you for trusting the department with this large capital purchase of a new ladder truck. We do appreciate this. I understand it is difficult. It is a large sum of money, but it's something that I can assure you all that is needed by the township, and that it will be in good hands with the department and will make us safer and hopefully protect the residents of Lopatcong. So we do appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you. EMS, anyone from EMS here? No. Okay. Shade tree. Robin?
Okay, it looks like I was supposed to give you an annual report in January, and I didn't. So I'm a little late, I'm sorry. Beth, did they get a copy of this? Okay, good, okay. So for 2025, the Shade Tree Commission has a number of activities planned. The first is the Arbor Day planting, which I've talked about before, and it still hasn't happened. I've learned a lot this year about one call and weather, and Brian's tractor being very heavy. Apparently, it can't go on the ground to dig a hole if it's rained a few days in a row. So hopefully, we're going to be doing that on Monday. Finally got everything cleared. So Monday at 1:30 over at the middle school, I'll be heading over, and I think it's supposed to start at 2 o'clock, where the kids from the green team and some of the special ed kids and anybody else that's in the Tiger Team Hour, I guess it's called, they're going to be able to come out and participate in finally planting the tree. If you're interested in coming over, I will get the exact time that it's going to start for you. And by the way, they're planting the town's second ginkgo bilboa, which is a very special tree. It's one of the oldest trees, and they grow very, very big, and so they're very excited about it and plan on taking good care of it. Jim, as you mentioned, the Earth Day cleanup, we usually are pretty involved with that. This year, as you mentioned, it was postponed. And I do want to say that it was postponed both due to weather and complete and total lack of participation. It's very frustrating that, we're all happy to complain about everything, but nobody's happy to come out and help. And so, yeah, we canceled it, and hopefully in the fall we'll get more participation on that. The biggest thing that we're doing this year is the Powderhorn Drive Tree Project, as I've mentioned before. So we're actively having our proposal being reviewed by Beth so that I can send it out and ask people for costing on that. All of those trees will come down. We will be replacing all of those trees, and in the end of May, beginning of June, prior to the trees coming down, we will do a door knock campaign where we'll stop at each one of the residents on Powderhorn from bottom to top and let them know that we are going to be taking the trees down, who's going to be taking them down, and also looking for volunteers to have another tree planted in front of their home, because we do have to do a one-for-one replacement of those trees. Okay. Community Day, we will again be participating. This year, we'll be participating most interestingly on making sure that everybody is aware of the permit process. That permit process that went into place in the beginning of the year was, as we've discussed, part of the state's requirements. And so far, we've had 3 permits. Interestingly, 2 of them have been from my next door neighbor. I guess they're really not happy about the fact that I live next door, but the 2 of them were from them. One of the things that we're really interested in getting involved in, Adam, is the tree planting and the rain garden at the park. And we know that it's not quite time yet because of all the demolition that's going on, but Ben George on the committee, he would like to engage with you to see how the Shade Tree Commission can be involved. Okay? And yes, we are responding to the tree permit requests. We do respond to that. We will be participating in continuing education. This is the 100th anniversary of the New Jersey Urban Community Forestry Organization, and we participate every year. It's a very valuable experience for us because we can, as you know, we have continuing ed requirements that we have to satisfy. And by us going to that, we satisfy our whole year's requirements in a 2-day window. So it's very helpful for us, and we learn a tremendous amount from it. And then the other thing that we have in our plans this year is it's a miscellaneous line item, which is replanting trees that Brian cuts down, because Brian likes to cut them down and I like to plant them. So in coordination with Brian, we do support the DPW and go out and look at trees with him and say, yes, it should go, no, it should be trimmed. And if it goes, we should replace it. So we did have a line item in our budget for replanting trees where possible. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. How do people get in touch with you if they want a tree planted in front of their homes?
On Powderhorn or in general?
In general.
In general, well, I try and read my emails.
I'm going to be the first one.
Okay, you're kidding me.
want to see it from my house. I had to take one down because it was down.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
I want
thrilled.
to replace it.
You can be on the top of the list. I'm thrilled. You know, Lou, I'm gonna tell you, I've always put you as the, not a tree fan person, but you're surprising me here. You want a
It's
tree?
okay. Like, it's a big, over the years, leaves, they just, more to clean up, but that's okay.
They add a lot of value to your home.
Well, it's shading my house.
Exactly,
nicely.
it's
Now it's
electric.
open to the sun.
Yes, exactly. So we're happy to take any request. Email and my personal phone number is listed on the town's webpage, and the Lopatcong Shade Tree Commission at lopatcongtwp.com is also listed there, and we do follow that. So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
What
Ron.
about trees behind the homes on Powderhorn?
I cannot help you with that. However, if you're going to take one of those down, I do request that you do file a permit. We will come and look at it. And if you take more than 3 down in a 5-year window, you do need to replace them.
Thank you. Okay, approve the departmental reports. Motion second.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. Any motion second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Valcarro,
Yes.
Councilman McLean,
Yes.
Council President Polito,
Yes.
Mayor Ray.
Yes. Okay, public comment. 3 minutes. Mr. Betts?
I'm John Betts. I live in Wrigley Gardens at 225 Red School Lane. Just a question, Jim, will we be having a Met Living Board meeting this month?
There is a meeting scheduled.
Okay, very good. And Lou, I'd like you and the council to keep the tenants apprised and the landlords as to how the privatization of the Peaburg sewage plant, how that would affect the tenants or the landlords.
That is unknown at the moment.
Okay, but,
That has not been disclosed,
okay,
but they're exploring the privatization and also the rate increase, which we don't know.
okay.
So
Very good. And
it's in their hands.
and then-
I know they have a sewer meeting coming up,
Okay.
I believe in June,
At Peaburg?
which I'll be attending. It's open to the
Okay.
public. I think it's in June.
Okay,
They do it every 3 months.
okay,
And so you can attend there. You can ask some more questions.
okay.
But they haven't concluded yet what the rate increase will be.
Okay, and then the other thing, Jim, is sewage included in our rents, in the rent control ordinance, people?
I'd have to talk with council.
Yeah, so I don't know the specific answer to that, but it depends on how it's classified in the lease. If it's classified as additional rents, then it's subject to the rent control ordinance. If it's not classified as additional rents, it's not subject to the rent control ordinance.
Okay.
But do you pay for your water bill?
I don't, but some people were, and I don't know, I haven't found out the answers to whether the people are paying for their water bills or not. I know that some people do, or had in the past. I haven't been able
Because
to.
the sewer is based on your water usage.
Yeah, the sewage and the water. I know that, Lou, and that's why I'm trying to find out the answer. But it's based on, it's based on if it's additional to the rent, then they can't charge it.
Yeah, so if any charge is classified as additional rent,
Yes.
basically it means they can evict for it, and if they can evict for it, then it's subject to the rent control ordinance.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Mr. O'Connell, just to follow up on, we have no say in what Phillipsburg does regarding the privatization. There's no vote. I mean, it's entirely in their discretion to do what they want to do.
Yes. The sewer plant is in their town. They run it, they manage it. They have to follow the EPA laws and standards, and they're always changing, but it's very fluid. So, yes, we have no control.
And
Plus, they outvote us anyhow from the sending districts.
Okay.
Just like, I won't say anything right now, but anyhow, yes, we're outvoted.
Okay.
So whatever they say, deemed, that's what it is.
Is there any controlling authority that they have to go through in order to privatize and to increase rates?
I'm not sure about that. I know they can increase rates, and that they haven't increased hours 5 years because of the lawsuit we had that we won. And so we settled. In lieu of payment, we did it was frozen at a specific number for 5 years. So that 5 years ended in '23.
Right.
So nobody's rates has been raised since then.
Okay,
But I'm assuming it's going to
Not
be,
even their own.
not even their own.
okay.
You know, and also, I was reading in the paper, there's a $12 million project, some sewer lines they have to replace.
Yeah.
And they don't have the funds for it,
Right,
you know, so Peterborough is not in a great place right now,
right,
financially,
okay.
pertaining to the sewer.
Right. I understand from other townships that, it's endemic to the whole area. I mean, it's all old infrastructure and.
So the contract we'll have with them will be same with Greenwich. And I think Paul has a separate contract, which expires at a different date.
Okay,
And I believe Alpha as well.
okay.
So we'll wait and see.
Okay, and you had mentioned that this would be a public, hearing,
It's a public meeting,
a public meeting in June?
I believe. I'm not sure, but we can
Okay.
find out.
Okay,
They send us
Yeah, It is send us an email when the meeting is held.
okay, sometime in June, and I can check through back.
Councilman McQuaid here and I will be
Okay.
attending those meetings.
Okay,
The most significant issue is the improvements that are required there. So they want to see if it's cost effective for them to privatize that whole thing. And if that happens, prices are going to go up.
okay. Is that unique to, is this new privatization of, no, this is existing throughout the state
There's
of New Jersey?
municipalities in the state of New Jersey that are privatized, but I don't see benefiting
Oh,
the homeowner,
right,
you know, because when you privatize,
right,
I think they can charge whatever they want.
right,
You know, it's another utility.
right. Yep. And the authorization, like a public utility, I know
Yeah, I
for
don't know if it works
electric.
the same way with,
Yeah.
you know, JCP&L
Right,
or Elizabethtown and Gas.
right.
I'm
We
not
don't
sure.
know. Okay. All right, thank you.
That's it.
Jesse Rizicki, 56 Puddingstone Way. Understanding that the golf course is in the process of, you're shaking your head.
Did you watch the planning board meeting?
Well, it's not really a planning board meeting. It's more of why the decision was being made perhaps for the township to not consider to buy it.
No one has come to it. They
Okay.
came with a couple of ideas.
Okay, so this is perfect. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
A couple ideas. Because when I run some numbers and understanding that the per acre cost, depending on whether or not it's residential or commercial, between $20 and $50,000 a year, that a max cost would be about $7.5 million. When I do a calculation, and I play golf, I know how golf courses work and operate. And to make a long story short, I come up with between $2 and $3 million a year of gross revenue. Take $1 million off for taxes and operating costs. That leaves you about $2 million. Worst case, let's say $1.5 million. That's a payback of about 5 years. That's a pretty good investment. So again, I'm not sure to what extent the township has considered buying it, turning it into a municipal golf course.
They've never come to us with anything.
Okay, they, as the family who owns it,
And the build, they've never come to the town. They talked to me,
right?
but they've been talking to us for 10 years.
I heard that too, that this has been going on for
I mean,
quite
this
some
has been on
time.
every couple of years,
Yeah,
and it's the same thing, and then people run with it. and
Right.
Make a big thing of it.
well, I'm not making a big thing of it, but.
Well, no,
but-
you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
It hits I think that's why I put a little article out, calm people down. There's nothing yet. He wants to do stuff, it's not allowed 90% of it. So, you know, what I mean?
Okay.
I'm hoping it's a golf course forever. I mean, that's my
Okay.
wish, and you could write that down, Mr. Ketcherson.
And I think
I
when.
want that as a golf course.
Okay, and thanks for that feedback, because again, sort of learning and understanding about this over the last few weeks, obviously, you know, some of us in the community have had some concerns, but
Sure, I don't blame you.
back and forth, I get it, but even as an option and a moneymaker, if it's truly gonna be sold, I think it should be something that the township consider. Again, $1 million to to the budget, after expenses, after taxes, is not a bad thing, in lieu of 400 other dwellings on strikers. So.
I know
Sorry?
Bethlehem did it, right? Bethlehem City did it, I think.
Bethlehem's a great course.
They did
Allentown
one.
Muni's a great course. Architects, again, a great course, and really sort of put Lopatcong on the map in terms of golf and people that come out here to play golf.
Just for your information, we were just talking about the sewer. We're maxed out.
I know, between the schools, the sewer.
Well, we're maxed out as far as any more sending down to Peaburg. So unless they upgrade, and the state will have to allow that,
Highlands.
nothing else can go
Okay.
up.
Got it.
So it's based on Peaburg. We already get the sewer capacity from. So I don't know about that. And I'll just leave it at that, all right? That's a whole different animal.
Whole different animal, but I like what I'm hearing.
Thank you, sir. I
Thanks.
appreciate it. Anyone else? Yes.
Hi,
Tanya.
Barbara McCluskey. I've been
Your
a
address,
resident,
please.
excuse me?
Your address for her.
154 Beer Street. I've been a resident of Lopatcong, specifically Delaware Park, since 1988. And I've hesitated coming to the council for a while because I don't know what you can do. I don't know if you can help me, but here's the problem. My kids have grown up, they've moved out of the house, I have a decision to make. Do I stay or do I go? I want to stay. But the condition of Delaware Park is increasingly horrific. And I don't know what can be done about it, but here is the first thing. 3 buses park in our neighborhood from August to June. I don't know if that's legal.
What kind of?
I don't know if it's school buses. So the one person who parks on the street has taken up his street, so he parks his truck in the front lawn. Apparently now people park trucks in the lawn. This is new. In some of these trucks are mounds of garbage that just stay. I don't know what it is. Big pieces of metal junk. I don't know what it is. There's houses with decks falling off the back, gutters falling down, appliances all over the yard. I would like to help these people. I would like to be kind. I would like to volunteer. I don't know what to do, though. Just knock on the door and say your yard's a wreck. There's dandelions that are 1.5 feet tall. There are most of the properties are beautiful, but some are so bad, I'm embarrassed to drive through it. Makes me want to leave.
Well, we can have Beth, get Brian can take a ride, right? And take a look and see if there's any violations and, you know what I mean?
It's
We can start there.
awful. It's really embarrassing. I walk the dog every day through the whole neighborhood, and it's getting worse instead of better.
Yeah, give your phone number to Beth, or come in and see Beth, and we'll work on it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
ma'am. Anyone else? Yeah, description.
John Kitchison, 38 Jade Lane. So I did watch that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to attend the planning board meeting, but I did watch the video. Something that caught my eye is that they did mention that multiple times that if they did develop the golf course, that it would help meet the 81 required affordable unit housing units. So my question to you guys is that number 81 what we are obligated to? Okay.
If we have a place, you know, put.
Well, we really, I mean, that's a mandate that we have to build those, right?
No. Unless a developer comes in and builds 400 homes.
Yeah, and we're still in the process of finalizing the fair share and housing plan, so how it actually looks is not set in stone yet.
Okay, so do we have a plan? I remember, Lou, you said that we're built out, there's no sewer capacity and stuff like that. So how do we handle that if we don't have?
It just stays in the cloud. The way it
Stays
is
in
right
the
now.
cloud, but eventually the state's gonna come in and make.
Well, no,
Gets
because
built, no?
if nobody's building, how are you gonna put 81 additional
No, I
homes?
don't know, that's.
You can't, right?
So you're saying
To
that
accommodate
no.
81 homes, you have to build 400 homes
Right.
to do 81 low income housing.
It was actually 610 units they were proposing.
I think it was even higher than that.
Yeah.
676. or
Something like that. It was
yeah.
it was a bigger number than 400.
They can throw any number at us, unless someone comes here and builds, and if there's room to build, and if there's sewer capacity to accept all these buildings, it's never gonna happen.
So what do we tell the state? when-
Nothing.
So at the planning board meeting on the 28th is going to be where we present the fair share housing element, which will set a plan in place, because we have to have a plan.
Right, that's my question, really.
But
What is the
whether or
plan?
not how that moves forward is, yet to be seen, because we have all these difficulties. But on the 28th of May, if you come to the planning board meeting, that's where the plan is going to be presented and approved.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Beth.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Lee Vazicki, 56 Puddingstone Way. It's my understanding that Hovnanian has come forward expressing their interest in this huge development. If all these challenges, I'm sure they're aware of these challenges that face our township as far as the zoning and the Highlands Council stipulations and our sewer crisis that we have. So given all these challenges, what is motivating them to come forward with these plans when all these challenges face our township?
This has been going on for, I think, 10, 20 years. They've been talking about, selling. I think every time maybe the golf course is not doing too well, a discussion will come up, hey, we got to do something, right?
Right, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it bumps up, it does well, it's, the restaurant is doing good, the bar is doing good, people are golfing, and all of a sudden they forget about, selling it. And then when it has a downturn, then those ideas come up again. As a business owner, those are the thoughts I think that enters their mind. I think that's one of the motivations. But then, I'm not in his mind, so I have no idea.
Right, right. But from a developer perspective, why put your plan, put money in to have all these blueprints, these temporary graphs and pictures in place and have an engineer come to the meeting and a lawyer come to the meeting and the construction manager come to the meeting to present all this information to me, it sounds like they're moving forward, they have confidence that they can meet all these challenges, that they can meet the sewer demands, that they can get Highlands Council approval and start the process, as Mr. Turco said, let's start the process, and the planning boards, well, we welcome your application and look forward to seeing you. So what's your confidence level
Well, what else can you say but bring your stuff, because we can't tell them no.
Yeah.
I mean, if I tell you, you want to sell your house and move to Florida, and I'm like, no, you can't.
No, I get that. I know they
Yeah.
can't. By law, they can't. They have to be open, accepting to whatever comes their way. But it's just having, knowing the history of all the other projects that have come through this town, just understand that there's not much trust there in knowing that you hope to have this golf course stay around for years to come. So
I think to answer your question, what motivates the developer, right?
Right.
To put in place all these actors. And I think one of them is, I think it happens more than we see in different areas of the country and state, where they have ideas, right? So they go and explore. They send their engineers out, they send their architects out, you know what I mean? And they're testing the waters, and to see if it's feasible, but if they don't do that, they'll never know. So they have to do the testing first, and then they'll take it from there, one step at a time. One step leads to the next, it may just seem that says, what, it's not gonna work out, and they back off. But we don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out, everyone.